Okay, daily sketch number 10 for Art 1. We have this cute turtle. Really simple little critter. You just have to think of the shapes that you see. So for the shell area, we have an oval. But his head's quite large. It's almost equally as half, like the head and then the shell. So you've got to put the shell off to the side of your paper. Don't put it dead center. You'll run out of room for your head. So the head, the neck starts here. And then the head doesn't go quite as high as the shell, but almost. And then the chin and the little beak part of his face comes out. Let's see. I think that's close enough. Down past the shell down here. So I'm going to fix these lines and just double check that my proportions are correct. Now this shell on the bottom is flat, so I'm going to make this a truer shape to the drawing. His neck comes and then the head comes up. I've got this cute little beak area. And then it curves here. It's not a straight up and down line. Okay? And then this curves a little bit more. So try and get that shape correct first. You don't want to add any detail until we get this figured out. So I'm going to clean up my edges, and then I'm going to look at where the legs go. So we've got two in the front. Where the neck starts, I think I needed to put my neck back a little bit more, so I'm going to adjust that. And anytime you have like an animated critter or person, you can exaggerate areas. So if you wanted to exaggerate the neck a little more, go ahead and do that. Okay, so I've got a distance between this neck and where the first leg starts, so it's about here. And then this last one really is towards the back of the shell. It ends that same distance. It barely comes past the shell, not very far. If you do super long legs, that's not true to a shape of a turtle. They've always have these really squatty legs. The legs behind, though, always need to be smaller and higher up than the ones in the front, because if you do them the same size and the same length, then they read like they're in the front instead of in the back. Okay, and I'm going to erase these lines. And then you see a little bit of the foot back here. It needs to be even with that line. Okay, so then I can look at the actual shell and decide where I want the shell to start, and it's about towards the bottom of that neck. I just have a couple little wavy lines. This comes out just barely past the shell, and then I've got this cute little tail that's right underneath that line for the shell that comes out, curves. Double check that this curve top of the shell is how you want it. That looks good. You can go back through, darken up any lines and erase. Now I'm going to look at where the eye is. Sometimes when we draw animated things, we misplace the eye and then it doesn't look as good. So you really want to, I'm first going to adjust the shape of his head a little bit better. I flattened out the top, and this guy has more egghead shape, and that's really cute. So I want to fix that, and this comes down a little bit farther. And then he's got a little tiny chin. It almost looks like a light bulb, right? That has a crack in it. So the eye, I would say, comes down a bit off of the top of the head, and then it's a bit, I mean, you've got this distance from the top and about that distance from the bottom, okay? And then it's just a big oval. And then he's got this big pupil iris area right here. And they didn't add a highlight. You can add a highlight if you want. This cute little eyebrow, little mark for the nostril. I'm going to go in, fix this line for the neck. And then I can start adding the shell markings. So you can copy what you see, you can create your own. And I'm just going to shade in the dark areas for a quick second here. darken up my lines, make them look a little more confident. For the little toe area, they just look like little pebbles, really. They're just little ovals, kind of. Okay, and that's about it. Once I'm done darkening, I think you're done. We could add some line work under here to indicate shading those areas. I don't really like that on the leg. I'm gonna leave that. Okay.